girls, Mrs Levet again, and I'm so happy you're here today. Today we're going to talk about one of my favorite artists, which is Wayne Thiebaud, and he is famous for making all sorts of fabulous paintings of desserts. So today we're going to be using, I'm going to need a bowl, and I'm going to be using shaving cream and glue. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to shake up my shaving cream, and then I'm just going to put it in my bowl. All right. And then I'm going to open my glue bottle and I'm going to pour a little bit of glue in here. Not a lot, but about a third. And I'm going to mix that up with the paintbrush, a stick, whatever. I'm going to use the end of my paintbrush. I don't want to use my bristle side. I'm just going to use the other side. Now you can change colors to this, and you can add food coloring and make different colors, but I'm just going to keep it white today because I want it to look like whipped cream. All right, so there's my shaving cream. All right, so put that on the side. So now I'm going to get a piece of paper. Now I know that you might be limited in your paper. So a couple of ideas are, again, newspaper. Newspaper's always good. I don't get the newspaper, but I do get flyers in the mail. So I can use this. I can paint on top of this. I can use crayon over top of this. But I can use newspaper. And then this is just a grocery bag I cut up. So I have a grocery bag, and I even use the side of my grocery bag. And sometimes I use the brown paper bag for the actual background of my picture, and sometimes I just use it for, this is going to be my ice cream cone. So I'm going to use my newspaper, and I've just saved a top from my yogurt, and I'm going to take this and I'm going to trace it. Now I'm only going to trace half of my circle, and that's going to be the top of my cupcake, or I can do half of my circle, and then I can add some drips, like a wavy line to make my drips. And I'm actually going to make 2 of those. If you want to make 2 of those, you don't have to trace it twice. You can fold it and cut it out once, and you'll get the same shape. So I'm going to cut that out. Watercolor. This again is my watercolor brush with the water built in that you squeeze and you add, the water comes out. But if you don't have that, a cup of water and a regular paintbrush work just fine. Watercolor paintbrush. So I just painted my newspaper right over here, and I also am going to be using some of my cupcake papers. So I just went to my kitchen cabinet and I just got some cupcake papers and I cut them in half. Now, when you have these, they can stick out, which you might want to make a 3D one, but I'm going to make mine flat. So I'm going to cut the bottom in 3 places, kind of like little pieces of pie. I don't know if you can see that, little pieces of pie. And I'm just going to fold those up. And then I can fold this in and fold this in, so it's about that big, and that's going to be my cupcake paper. And I'm just going to glue that onto a piece of paper. Now I'm using just my brown grocery bag because that's what I had available, but I also have some construction paper. You can use construction paper, you can use computer paper, pretty much any kind of paper that you want to use. If you have a plain cupcake paper, you might want to just use even like a magazine page. All right, so I have that, and now I'm going to add my cupcake to that. Now I'm going to slide it in. And I did use this. I cut out this, but I also have used just regular construction paper. So I can pop that construction paper in as well. And that's what I'm going to do. All right. Now for the fun part. I'm going to take my whipped cream, which is my glue and shaving cream mixture, and I'm just going to kind of scoop it up. And I am going to plop it right on top of my cupcake like it's icing or whipped cream. And you can play around with this. It is kind of a little bit difficult to work with. If you want to use your fingers, you can use your fingers. It does take about 24 hours to dry, but it works out great. I have done candy on top of mine. I put a little Rolo, and then I added some real sprinkles. This one also has real sprinkles that I've added. You might want to do a button if you have a button available. I've got a peppermint, so I'm going to open this peppermint and I'm going to put it right on top, just like that. And if you have some sprinkles you want to use, you can just put some sprinkles on top in there, however you wish. I've also in the past used gift wrap confetti and different things like that. And there is my really awesome, delicious cupcake. So now we're going to be making an ice cream cone. So I'm going to take my scrap paper that I had before, and I'm going to fold this, and I'm going to draw a triangle. So from the corner of the fold up, however big I want it to be. This might end up being too big, which is not a big deal. I can always cut it smaller, but I'm going to go ahead and cut that out. And there's my ice cream cone. Now that looks like a white 1 scoop ice cream cone. If you want it to be smaller, just cut the top off. You want it to be shorter, there you go. And I'm going to put glue, and this is a really cool trick. I'm just going to put glue on one side, fold it in half. I call it kissing it together. Open it up. I got glue on 2 sides, and I'm going to put that right down right there, just like that. Now I made these earlier, so I'm going to take my ice cream and I'm going to glue my ice cream on to my ice cream cone. So I'm going to put the first one on top, and then I'm going to do this second one. Put that next. I'm going to draw my cone line. So I'm just going to do some kind of quick, not perfect, diagonal lines to make my ice cream cone. And then I'm going to take my whipped cream and I'm going to blob it on top. Just plop it right there. And there's my whipped cream. It's really my shaving cream glue mixture, but it still works pretty cool. Put it on that one, and then I'm going to make this other one. These are great for birthday cards. My son had a birthday, and we didn't have any decorations, so these are great decorations. And then again, I'm going to just add my sprinkles or confetti or whatever you have. And ta-da, my ice cream. I'm gonna do a quick review. If you watched my earlier shaving cream print project, you could have used this for your cupcake or your ice cream. Would have been great, or an awesome background. So if you like that, you can go back and look at that shaving cream print video. But the main thing I needed for this project was shaving cream and glue. And I just mix it up in a bowl with any type of stick, spoon, paintbrush, whatever. Some of the things I used were construction paper, newspaper, grocery bags, and then I had added candy and sprinkles. If you remember, I added a peppermint to this one. And if you have cupcake papers, great. If you don't, just cut out a cupcake paper shape. You can even fold it if you want to. A marker, and if you have watercolors, great. Markers and watercolors, crayons, those are extras. It's mainly paper and the shaving cream. So I hope you enjoyed this Wayne Thiebaud dessert project, and I hope you had a deliciously good time. Bye.